Prepare yourselves for a battle of epic proportions between two titans. Feast upon their voices and revel in their words. This is Dueling Ogres.
And welcome to episode 102. Thank you for joining us as always on this Peruvian Monday evening, Earth Day, January 30th, 2017. I'm your host, Remington Hitchcock, and with me as always is my co-host, Brandon Full. Say hello, Brandon.
Hi, Remington.
Hi.
Why were you talking like this?
I don't know. My head just started moving and my voice kind of
really
went weird.
Super animated.
Yeah.
You couldn't see it, obviously, because it's a podcast, but you did a little curtsy thing, too. Right in your seat.
Is that what you would call that? I was just kind of stretching my shoulder.
Well, I wouldn't say curtsy so much as like both your hands were in front of you, like you were holding down your dress like Marilyn Monroe.
Ah, I gotcha.
That's what I was
doing downward dog. That's what it was.
Really?
Yes.
Are you going to start off the podcast with a belch right into the mic?
Yeah. Now I have to leave it in there.
Can you at least please, and I know it's extra work, can you please add an echo to that burp? Just one echo, like you burped in a cave.
Yeah, I could probably do that if I remember.
Okay.
I mean, we're talking about it, so.
I will remind you.
Well, I'll hear it when I'm editing.
Just echo, burp echo.
I'll just go backward after I hear you ask for the echo, and I'll be like, oh yeah, he wants me to.
Oh yeah, Brandon wants me to do extra shit.
Yeah, Brandon wants me to do more fucking work.
Up there at his ivory tower.
Just barking orders at me.
More echoes.
Down in the podcast mines. While digging for this gold, this comedy gold.
Sitting like a fat cat smoking my cigar. More episodes.
More episodes.
Does that carry through me puffing on a cigar?
Yeah,
or is that more a visual?
I mean, the visual on it's pretty adorable. I'm not gonna lie. You should start smoking cigars just so you can do that.
Okay. I'll wear suspenders.
Yeah,
I'll gain about 100 pounds. Striped shirt.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good.
Yeah.
I like it.
We got a plan.
How's that extra 100 pounds going to do with that barrel chest of yours?
I think it'll make me more imposing when I go down to the mines.
Yeah.
Because people will be like, Brandon's coming.
Oh my god, you'll look like, who's Daredevil's main bad guy?
Kingpin,
yes. I completely brain farted. Kingpin. You look like Kingpin. Because your shoulders are really broad.
Yeah, I'm a broad guy.
You really are. It's weird.
What is that guy's name?
For you being such a wuss.
I would defend myself, but I'm terrified.
What guy were you thinking of? I'm sorry.
It doesn't matter. I was going to make a joke. And
it's the second time in 2 podcasts that I've called you a wuss.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I did
remember the last time. I guess I just wiped it out of my memory.
I certainly didn't cry myself to sleep that night.
Why'd you call me a wuss the first time?
I don't know. You probably said something.
Said something
Probably
wussy.
said something wussy. I'm Brandon. I do this all the time.
Yeah, that's fucking
wiggle
spot
my
on.
head. I don't know. I'm sorry.
That's good.
I'm sorry.
No, that's really good.
I'm just kidding.
No, keep going.
No, I'm sorry.
Keep going.
No, I feel bad.
No, it's great.
No, it's
that was really fucking solid. Keep going.
Okay. What have you been up to?
Welcome to Dueling Ogres.
I'm sorry. Verklempt. Talk amongst yourselves.
I decided because every episode you ask me what I'm doing, and it's some variation of some boring bullshit, and then I talk about what I'm playing.
Okay.
So now I'm just going to do what I'm playing every episode.
Okay.
Since that's mostly what I talk about anyway. The past few days I've been playing Civilization.
Oh, really?
That?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a whole bunch of Sid Meier's games on a Humble Bundle sale.
Humble Bundle.
Months ago. And
I had a real rough time saying Humble Bundle.
Yeah.
Last
it's
episode.
Tough. But I've been playing Civilization 3 on my laptop.
Mm-hmm.
And losing like a ridiculous amount of hours.
Right.
When I'm supposed to be sleeping. Playing Civilization.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm so bad at it. I'm not remotely good in any way.
Yeah.
So when I get these small victories, I'm like, yeah, that's right, you Fucking Aztec bastards. That's been going on.
Escalated quickly.
In my game right now, I've been at war with the Aztecs.
Yeah. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, are you winning against the Aztecs?
Kind of.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened was, to make a long story short, I'm at war with them. They end up hooking up with the Mayans, so they're both attacking me. Then fucking out of nowhere, Germany decides, hey, fuck them, I'm going to attack Brandon too.
Okay.
So...
Germany out of nowhere?
Yeah. Like, Germany was on an entire other continent, except for one city that they had on my continent that I hadn't rebuffed them. I was like, well, they just have one. I have the rest of the continent.
Right.
Yeah, and they apparently had some sort of connection to the Mayans and decided to attack me too.
Well, that's not very nice of them.
So the Aztecs offered a peace treaty. The Germans offered a peace treaty. So I accepted those. The Mayans still kept attacking me. So I just amassed probably 50 troops and took over 2 Mayan cities. After I took over the first one, they were asking for a peace treaty and were begging, like, can we just end this? Give us a peace treaty. Give us a peace treaty. And I said, fuck you. And I took another one of their cities and probably lost millions of my own people's lives to prove a point to take this city.
Uh-huh.
And I realized that if I were actually a world leader, I would be awful. I would just throw my own people. I would be like the Vladimir Putin, who is a dictator. I would be the Vladimir Putin of just throwing my own people at every problem I have.
You know, that's what they did in World War II.
Yeah, I know, exactly.
Of the losses of World War II, Russia was the biggest loss of life.
Yeah.
By a large margin, if I remember correctly.
Well, they just keep fucking. It's just snow and potatoes, right?
I guess.
Just having sex on piles of potatoes and snowmen.
So I just realized we were talking about the Humble Bundle, and I had bookmarked the RPG book bundle, and it's over.
Yeah.
And I forgot about it, and I wanted to get it, and I
They
forgot
do
about
one probably once a month. They've been doing a Pathfinder RPG book bundle. They typically put the player's guide and the DM's guide in it, and then they'll do a bunch of extra, depending on what it is.
Yeah.
I picked up the last one. I can send you some of the books I probably won't use, so you can kind of get an idea of how it works.
Yeah, because I wanted to get the full on bundle. Like,
I'll have to check. I might actually have more than one copy of the Player's Handbook. I know I have more than one copy of some books where I've bought the bundles twice.
Right.
Or they've been bundled. You know, Player's Handbook's been bundled with 3 or 4 different ones.
Yeah.
Bundled with different bundles.
Yeah. I really want to check that out because I bookmarked. I was going to buy it, and it was early on. It had 14 days left or something like that. It was pretty far out, and then I just completely forgot to check back in.
I know. I've missed the Sierra sale twice now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That
bums me out so much because I think it was for like $7. For $1, you got one of the King's Quests and a couple Leisure Suit Larrys.
Uh-huh.
And then for $7, you got the full Space Quest collection, the first 3 Gabriel Knights, all of the King's Quests.
Right.
It was just all of the games from my childhood.
That's cool.
Yeah. But I missed them twice.
That sucks.
Yeah. That's cool, and then that sucks.
Yeah. They'll come along. I hope that something better comes along.
Solid Muppets reference, right?
Thank you. Timely.
So what have you been up to?
I've just been hawking foam, man. Just hawking foam. I haven't...
What about slinging mats? Could you use the...
slinging
mats?
Slinging mats. I like slinging springs.
Slinging springs? That's pretty good.
Springs.
Spring slingers?
Yeah, spring slingers.
Is that what... Can we make that what you call mattress salesman now?
I think we should. I think the next time that one of our audience members goes into a mattress shop, you'd be like, hey, I want one of you slingers to sling me some springs.
Spring slingers.
Yes. That's what I meant to say.
But spring slinger sounds like something mattress salesmen would call themselves.
Yeah.
To try to add some legitimacy and coolness to their profession.
Right. Because there's nothing cool about it.
Whereas a customer isn't going to go in and be like, yeah, I'm excited. I'm going to go talk to a spring slinger.
Yeah. I have a rough time saying it. My mouth is too big. I get bumble air around it. I get B-word fat on that.
My mouth is too big?
Yeah.
It's a spring slinger.
Spring slingers. The B-word fat. Spring slingers. Just slinging their springs. Who knows what's going to happen next?
You really put your whole body into that.
Just hawking foam. It sounds gross now.
Yeah, it does.
I didn't want to be a part of that anymore. I wish I could say that I've done something cool in the past couple weeks, but apart from Ginger's birthday, there hasn't really been a whole lot going on.
The most important thing is
Ginger's birthday?
Besides Ginger's birthday,
okay,
because she is a very lovely woman.
Uh-huh.
You gave me part of my late Christmas present 2 weeks ago, and you got me a Tamagotchi.
I did. I totally did. Yep. So that was, had you started up? Is it going?
It's annoying as shit.
Is it dead yet?
Maybe. I don't know. I stopped checking on it. And I don't mean this, because I was super excited.
Yeah.
And I still love that I have it, and it's gone in my container of old technology, which I have, like old wires and keyboards and stuff like that.
Right.
So I have it in there with some of that in my older video game systems. But yeah, I turned it on, and it just beeps. It just beeps all the time. My favorite, though, is... I can't remember if I told you this when I was here. No, I didn't open it until I got home. So the instructions are English. So they were in Japanese and then translated to English.
Right.
And it's telling you some of the games you can play. And one of the games is rock, paper, scissors. You can play with it.
Right.
But rock, paper, scissors, apparently translated from Japanese or Chinese, is scissors, fist, rag.
Scissors, fist, rag.
Yes.
Nice.
So you're playing a solid game of scissors, fist, rag.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty
Sounds
adorable.
like a lot of fun.
So I went through to try to set what animal it was, because you can choose. There's fucking 75 different animals.
Wow,
in it.
okay.
Yeah. So you have every animal under the sun. And I'm scrolling through, like, I got to find the perfect one. And you see, you've got, like, pandas, hedgehogs, dolphins, seahorses. And then it starts getting into, like, robots. And there's, like, 15 mechs.
Huh.
And then there's probably, like, 10 or 15 little Japanese anime characters with, like, very slight variations on their hair.
Right. Nice.
So I was trying to find a robot to use. I scrolled through all of them once to see what there was.
Yeah.
And then I was going back to find the robots, and I mispressed a button and chose panda.
Oh, yeah. That is unfortunate. But at least you're keeping the pandas alive.
No, it's dead.
Oh.
I immediately stopped feeding it. After it started beeping, I was just like, nope. I'm putting you with my technology.
Nope.
I'm putting you with my hoarded tech.
That's funny.
So I figured what we could do is kind of just do a... what is that called? What is it when you put a bunch of flowers and shit in a crock pot?
What?
When you put a bunch of flowers and shit in a crock pot and let it just boil and it makes your house smell nice. What is that called? It's incense. It's not incense.
Potpourri?
Potpourri. Bam. Got it.
Okay.
I figure we'll do a potpourri of news. A hodgepodge. Potpourri.
Is that a cornucopia of news?
No, not cornucopia.
Why not?
Because there's not enough news to fill a cornucopia, Remington, obviously.
Oh.
We're just throwing some news in a crock pot and letting it simmer. Letting the listeners... soak up the stank.
Soak up the stank. Soak up the stank that is Dueling Ogres. Wow.
New tagline? Question mark?
Dueling Ogres, soak up the stank.
I don't know if we should write colon out, though. Dueling Ogres, colon.
Listen, here's what we need to do.
Okay.
Here's what we need to do, Brandon. We need to go through our old catalog, and we need to pull out those little one-liner gold things that we have, so we can start doing awesome merch. There's been 1,000 of them, I guarantee you, that are at least decent enough to go on a t-shirt.
Or a mug.
Or a mug.
We could just have a mug, and it has the Dueling Ogres logo on one side, and on the other side it just says Soak Up the Stank.
Yeah.
And like a really typeface. Like a newspaper style typeface.
Well, we'll do a little Dueling Ogres logo above it. It just says "Soak Up the Stank," and it'll be in pixel form. Mm-hmm. And then there'll just be a poo right after it, like a emoticon poo.
Why would you? No.
Yes, it's perfect.
Who would?
It's perfect. Everybody would buy that.
You just birthed this idea, and it's your golden child all of a sudden.
It is.
However, segue, because we are perfect as well. Speaking of poop emojis.
Okay.
Sir Patrick Stewart is voicing the poop emoji in the forthcoming Emoji Movie.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's funny. I like it.
Did you see the trailer for the poop emoji? Or for the Emoji Movie?
Yes.
What did you think of it? Because it has quickly become one of the most hated trailers online.
Well, obviously, and that's one of the reasons why I've pretty much blocked it from my memory.
Because it looks fucking...
retarded?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, does this say that Patrick Stewart will do anything for money?
I mean, he does the Strongbow commercials, so there's that.
What is a Strongbow?
It's a alcoholic beverage.
Oh.
Strongbow.
Can you deliver a line the poop emoji might say as Sir Patrick Stewart?
I don't know. Give me a poop emoji line.
Soak up the stank.
Soak up the stank.
I mean, it's such an easy joke to make. To just have, like, proper British guy being the poop emoji. I mean, that's like fucking comedy 101 what they did, you know? It's so hacky.
Make him part of the tour.
See, I would go...
We will call them Johns.
I don't know what you're talking
about. It's Men in Tights. You've never seen Men in Tights?
I saw it forever ago.
Oh, never mind. People who are out there, they know. They know what I'm talking about. They know that Patrick Stewart came back from the Crusades and made King John, renamed all of the toilets in the kingdom Johns.
Was he Richard?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
That was a total guess, too.
Well, that's because you know history.
I know Robin Hood.
You know Robin Hood history.
Speaking of hoods.
Mythos.
Speaking of hoods.
Are we going to talk about Arrow?
No, I'm going to talk about how there's a forthcoming remake to White Men Can't Jump.
That went in an entirely different direction, yeah. That is a thing.
Have you seen that movie?
White Men Can't Jump?
Yeah.
That had Woody Harrelson in it, didn't it?
Yes.
Yes, it did. We have some more Woody Harrelson.
We do.
Stuff to talk about, too.
See,
let's just go ahead and roll through this White Men Can't Jump thing because
there's really no news outside of the fact that it's being worked on as a reboot.
That they're making another one?
I asked my girlfriend about it because I hadn't seen it. And she said that it's have you seen it?
I mean, not that I remember.
She said it's just a real bro-y movie about a black guy and a white guy playing basketball and being bros.
Yeah, pretty much. From what I remember of it.
Not to hammer home a point that everybody in the entire universe is saying at this point, why remake White Men Can't Jump? If it's just a bro-y movie about a black guy and a white guy who are friends overcoming odds and playing basketball together, just make that fucking movie. Why do you have to attach White Men Can't Jump to it? Is it because the movie's not going to stand well enough on its own that they're like, just throw White Men Can't Jump on it, I guess?
I think it's just because remakes are the big thing. And they ran out of good movies to remake, so now they're just remaking whatever they can fucking hold on to a property about.
They need to remake The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. Nostalgia
sells, Brandon.
Yeah, but who's nostalgic for White Men Can't Jump?
Maybe Woody Harrelson is.
Their target audience is Woody Harrelson?
Yeah, could be.
I mean,
he's like a hardcore vegan. Did you know that?
Woody Harrelson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, he's a hardcore vegan. He's like super outspoken in like the vegan, very left-wing ideologies.
Yeah, I didn't even know that. That's weird.
He also smokes a shit ton of weed.
Well, who doesn't? But he did like the Twinkies that he ate on Zombieland. They weren't even real Twinkies.
Were they vegan Twinkies?
Yeah.
I guess, what does a Twinkie have?
I mean, I don't know.
And milk, I guess?
Yeah, probably.
Animal lard? Oh, no, there's definitely lard in them. And the cream.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't
Horse
know.
Hooves. Could
be. You're just naming gross animal things now? Is that what you're doing?
Pig penis.
Pig penis. So, they weren't even real Twinkies. I don't know what they were made of, but it's weird. It's just one of those weird random things I didn't know.
Yeah. Woody Harrelson's kind of insufferable. I did think Zombieland is one of my favorite movies, though. I'd have to say.
I mean, he's done a lot of good films. I mean, I haven't seen him.
He's a good actor, for sure. Just as a person, when I see him talking about stuff,
I really haven't seen a whole lot of interviews with him or anything. So,
well, there's that famous thing on. He did an AMA on Reddit a few years ago where he was promoting his new movie Rampart.
Mm-hmm.
And it has gone down in infamy as one of the worst celebrity AMAs of all time.
Oh, yeah? I didn't hear about this. What's this?
Yeah, you'd have to really go read it. Me explaining it doesn't do it justice. But basically, he's there to
I won't say you're going to have to try your best.
He's there to talk about his new movie. People are asking him questions about, like, so what kind of stuff do you like to do in your off time? Because in AMA, ask me anything.
Right, sure.
The rules are kind of understood. You don't have to answer everything, but if you just go and push one thing, and that's what he did, is he just kept pushing, like, any question he would answer, he would flip it around to somehow talking about Rampart when it came out. So the big thing is he would, like, people start, as this started to happen, they would continuously ask him more and more ridiculous questions to try to goad him because he wouldn't answer anything else.
Right.
So then he just kept saying stuff like, let's get back to talking about Rampart. So it's this big meme on the Reddit AMAs now. It's brought up occasionally. When somebody says something related to what they're trying to sell you, inevitably somebody will comment and say, that's all well and good, but let's get back to talking about Rampart.
That's funny. I like Reddit. I say that, but I've never spent any amount of time on it.
Yeah. I have quite a few subreddits I go to.
You do. You're a weird guy. I've never been able to get into it.
Am I a weird guy?
I don't know. A lot of people do that. I've never been able to get into that. It's a forum, but it's not a forum, but it is a forum. I just don't like the way it's structured, maybe. Yeah, the structure is weird. It takes some getting used to, definitely. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what it all boils down to, is I just don't like the way it's set up. Yeah. I don't ever comment, I just read. So, talking about Woody Harrelson, then. He's going to be in the new Han Solo standalone. Yeah. The prequel Han Solo. So, I looked it up to find some more information on it. And he is playing a character named Harris Shrike. Okay. Who is Han Solo's adopted father, sort of. Okay. So I'd never heard of the character Harris Shrike before. He's an extended universe or expanded universe guy. Okay. He is Han Solo is a little ruffian on the streets. Sure, a little street rat. Yeah. Yeah. Harris Shrike kind of ran like a little criminal empire where he would kidnap or adopt little street urchins and then make them little thieves. Right. And was very heavy-handed and would, like, beat them and shit. Sure, as you do. He was kind of a mercenary. Uh-huh. So that's who he is. Now, this is total speculation, but he adopted from the stories, and I don't know if it's from the comics or a book or what it is, so I'm kind of blank there. Okay. But he adopted Han Solo when Han was 5 and taught him to pickpocket when he was 5 years old. Okay. Now, the young Han Solo movie that's coming out has Alden Ehrenreich. Yes. As young Han Solo. And Ehrenreich. He looks like he's probably, in his 20s? Early to mid-20s? Yeah, I would say that's a fair bet. He looks young enough that he could potentially play Han Solo at, like, I don't know, 16 to 20. Yeah. If they youngify him right. Youngify? Is that the technical term? Yes. Okay. So, Woody Harrelson, I'm guessing, is going to be the main antagonist. Because in the books or comics or whatever, Harris goes to hunt down Han Solo years later. Gotcha. So we also have, on top of that, Chris Miller just yesterday, well, actually, even earlier today, and it just exploded all over the news. They've started filming. Who's Chris Miller? He is the director. Okay. So it looks like they've started filming on the movie. He recently tweeted a picture, if this is correct, 11:30 or 11:09 a.m. on breaking news. Breaking fucking news, right? Breaking this story first. Yeah, well, not first because I found it somewhere else. Third. But like 7th, 100th, maybe. Anyway, he tweets out this picture, and he's got one of the film markers, and they like the little clappy things. Yeah, they've started shooting the film. I guess I assume, and the current working title is called Red Cup. That's so bad. Isn't it, though? Yeah. But yeah, it is. Red Cup. Star Wars Red Cup. Han Solo. Solo Cup. Yeah. Red Solo. Just in case somebody didn't get the joke. Yeah. You know. Well, that one horrible country musician had a song about red Solo Cups. Yeah. So I think it's kind of ingrained into American culture at this point. Okay, fair enough. So anyway, he tweets out this picture, and the tagline for the picture is Han first shot. Yeah. Hopefully this guy spends as much time making a good movie as he does
joshing around on Twitter.
Yeah. Fucking making puns.
Yeah.
About our favorite property.
Dick.
Jerk face. Stupid head.
So those movie markers.
Yeah.
Are those used for editing? Is that where when you're editing you can go through real fast? Kind of like whenever you're editing the podcast sometimes and you're like, okay, pause for a second and you clap your hands in front of the mic. So whenever you're going through later to watch, you'll see the spike and know that there's something there you need to edit. Is that what the markers are for?
No, the marker is for sound alignment with video.
Oh, really?
Yes. Now, if I do that during the podcast, that will be a visual for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I always thought that the markers were that. Like, the director, the editor would be watching it and be like, okay, here's take 12. Write that down. I like that take. Go forward. Okay, take 15. I like 2. Go back to find take 12 again.
No, it's really primarily used to align the audio with the video so you don't have off sync. So when I'm talking and I keep moving my mouth and there's no words coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's off sync.
How does it sync it?
So when you're looking at the video.
Do you genuinely know this?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. I thought you were just bullshitting me. All right.
No. When you see the clap,
mm-hmm.
I'm going to do that again. When you see the clap, as soon as that hits, that noise is made. The mic picks that up. So you see this very loud spike, and it's very short in the editing software. So you can line that hit up with that spike in the waveform, and then everything else will be synced after.
Oh.
Yeah. And then you lock that into place. That way when you're splitting it, it's splitting the audio and the video together. That way you don't get any off sync after that.
That's pretty interesting. I had no idea.
Now you know, Brandon, and knowing is half the battle.
Da-na-na-na.
No, that would be G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joe.
Not the more you know.
G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, I guess, because that's what I thought it did as far as marking visually.
Yeah, and there, I mean, it's used for a lot of...
the clappy thing was just cool. Like, just like...
Nope, it serves a purpose.
I'll be...
But yeah, I mean, it has all kinds of information on those.
Well, it looks like it shows like the take and the time and the dates.
Yeah, it really is. It has a ton of different information on there. I mean, there's whole fucking classes to teach you how to write on those things.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who does them?
What do you mean?
Like whenever a movie's filming, who's the one that holds it?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
Somebody has to have that job, right?
It's
all unionized, isn't it? Like
I think
working on a movie is all unionized.
I think so. And it's a very important job.
Gaffer?
For being something so small. Yeah, it's incredibly important. If it's not done correctly, then you can have some major issues. So if somebody ever entrusts you with doing it, not you specifically, but
maybe me specifically.
Maybe you. I mean, you might be so interested in it that you go out and pursue it.
Yeah, I feel like you opened my world.
Well, I'm glad. Teaching Brandon new things. Mm-hmm. Anyway, what the fuck were we talking about?
Woody Harrelson. Oh,
yeah. So Woody Harrelson's in it. And see, for me, it's just... this is stupid. Just went all the way back. It's so weird for him to be in the movie for me, I guess. He's a very well-established actor. And he's continued to be very well-established. It's not like, Max von Sydow was in Rogue One. No, we haven't seen Rogue One.
Force Awakens.
Max von Sydow was at the very beginning of Force Awakens.
Mm-hmm.
And then for the most part after that, most of those characters hadn't been in a lot of things that we had seen.
Yeah.
Apart from, Carrie Fisher and Harrison Ford, and et cetera, and so on. So it'll be weird if he plays a very large role in there, and if he has a lot of screen time, because I'm just seeing Woody Harrelson.
Yeah, exactly. That was my issue with it too, is you can't, for me at least, you can't really not see Woody Harrelson at this point. It's just like, oh, there's Woody Harrelson acting. I know, it's a really weird thing, because when you see Harrison Ford doing Han Solo, you can throw yourself into him being Han Solo. Yeah, because for a lot of us, that's how we knew Harrison Ford is as Han Solo. Yeah, same thing but it's the same thing for Indiana Jones. When he's doing Indiana Jones, I don't see him as Han Solo. I see him as Indiana Jones. Yeah. I mean, I know there's not a huge disparity in the actual character itself between, how they are, but still, they are both not like Harrison Ford. Yeah. And I will say this. You saw Guardians of the Galaxy, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, you know the guy that Merle something or other plays? The dude who raised Star-Lord?
The blue guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
When I saw that he was cast
his name
as sort of the main antagonist, I mean, he's not the main antagonist. You know, he ends up helping them, but also not. He's kind of a dick.
Yeah.
When I saw he was cast, I felt the same way as I did about Woody Harrelson.
Mm-hmm.
About kind of like, that's a weird... Like, that guy is so distinctive to be put in a Marvel movie. I feel like he's going to take us out of it some.
Yeah.
But he did great.
He did. Yeah, and Woody might do...
with... Oh, sorry, continue real quick.
And Woody might do the same thing, but to be fair, that guy, whose name that we can't remember to save our lives, apparently, he had a lot of prosthetics. He had blue makeup. He had some prosthetic stuff going on.
Yeah.
They changed the look of him enough that you were able to disconnect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I guess, if Woody Harrelson is maybe an alien of some sort.
Let me Google a picture, because I actually didn't look up what this guy looks like. Let me Google a picture.
And he might not. It might just be... I don't know. Woody can play a pretty hard-ass kind of a guy, too.
Okay, so I search Harris Shrike, and I get a whole bunch of pictures of woodpeckers.
Okay.
Oh, it's Garrus Shrike.
Oh.
I've been saying Harris Shrike.
Okay.
Harris Shrike is a kind of bird.
Fair enough. So Garrus Shrike.
Yeah. So, hopefully we didn't lose Star Wars comic nerds in the first, 20 minutes of this when I kept calling him Garrus Shrike.
Harris.
When I kept calling him Harris Shrike.
Right.
Okay, this is him. So, that looks like from the Clone Wars, maybe.
Yeah, it could be. And he's fairly gaunt looking there, but I don't know. I think Woody can pull it off. From the description, because you gave me more description than I had even seen yet for the character itself. I think Woody could pull it off pretty well. I don't think he'll take us too far out of it.
If it goes by the story that I read, and this is all from Wikipedia,
right?
The guy's a real dickhead.
Okay. And I mean, Woody can play a real dickhead. Mm-hmm. He really, really can. So I don't think it'll be as jarring, because I don't want to say bad, because I don't think it's going to be bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've established that Woody Harrelson is a good actor. But I don't think it'll be as jarring to our sensibilities.
Yeah. Talking through this, I think I've turned around a little bit.
Yeah.
Han Solo, hands down, was my favorite character from Star Wars.
Right.
Until I saw Boba Fett. But Han Solo.
Right.
So yeah, a Han Solo movie is
Red Cup.
Be pretty cool.
Red Cup's going to be pretty cool. They also, Donald Glover is going to be playing Lando Calrissian, young Lando. They have...
That's a good casting choice.
They have Emilia Clarke being on there for something yet to be determined.
Who is that?
Game of Thrones, Khaleesi.
Oh, okay.
Queen of Dragons.
Blonde girl with the...
Well, white hair, but yes, the one with the dragons.
With the dark eyebrows?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. She's super adorbs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you watched much Game of Thrones at all?
No. And I know I should. Everybody I know who watches Game of Thrones, if they get to know... First off, everybody fucking watches and says you should watch Game of Thrones.
Right.
But past that, when people get to know me more and find out how much I love D&D and I have a D&D tattoo and everything, they're like, why are you not watching Game of Thrones? You would fucking love Game of Thrones, Brandon.
Yeah.
I just don't like dwarves.
Oh.
No, well, I would say 90% of the barrier is that I don't have HBO.
Yeah, sure.
My girlfriend was really into it a couple years ago. I downloaded the first season for us to watch and got flagged a bajillion times through our ISP because HBO doesn't mess around with it.
Yeah.
So I don't download HBO stuff anymore.
Yeah.
And I found a few sites online where you can stream it that, is not illegal because you're streaming it through a site you're not downloading it.
Right, yeah.
It's not illegal on our end. But those sites are so suspect.
Yeah, sure.
You have pop-ups halfway through that try to download shit, so.
Yeah. I even came in at season 2 or 3. Because Ginger was watching it, but I was not. And I had her there to help me out with the story a bit, but once I got a handle on it, I mean, I'm caught up there, and it's so much fun to watch. It's such a good fantasy. Even to the point where, I know it's diverging kind of from what he wrote, but if I'm not mistaken, I think he's still kind of involved in it. Like whenever they take some liberties and do something a little different, they'll run it by him.
Well, they're past where the books are now.
Yeah.
So from what I understand, he gave them an outline of how it's going to end.
Mm-hmm.
But then said kind of like, just do what you're going to do. I wonder, he seems like, in interviews I've seen with him, he seems like he doesn't really care that much about finishing it.
Yeah.
Like he seems like he's sick of people fucking asking about him. The time between books was like outlandish, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Like
I really don't know.
Between the second and third or the first and second. I don't even know how many there are. But I know the time was huge between them, and we're going on like 8-10 years from the last book.
Right. So yeah, I don't know a whole lot about the book side of it.
I don't know from books.
I don't know from books. What are you gonna do? Anyway.
I think that there's not enough magic on Game of Thrones. That's what hasn't really caught my attention. Or why it hasn't caught my attention.
Yeah, there really isn't a whole lot of magic. I like a
big scoop of sorcery on my plate of sword.
You like to see the big glowing magics.
Yeah.
You do. Yeah, there's definitely not a lot of that. It's very subtle, the magic that is there.
Yeah.
It's very subtle and given from the gods. It's very much a divine magic, it seems like. Not a whole lot of witchery.
But, I mean, I should check it out.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Woody
pretty
Harrelson.
awesome. Woody Harrelson. we went all over the place, man, but anyway, the tie-in on that was Emilia Clarke. What else do you have?
Oh, we watched the Logan trailer.
Oh, yes, we did.
That is not so timely anymore since we missed last week.
Yeah.
The latest and last, in quotes last, because who knows, Logan trailer.
Right, yeah.
The one where he says the F word.
Yeah.
And then Patrick Stewart says the F word.
They both say the F word. Yeah.
So what'd you think of the trailer?
A lot of blood.
Yeah.
Yeah? I mean, we know it's rated R, correct?
Right. Yeah, they're really showing off the R rating in that trailer.
Yeah, they're doing. I mean, it's gritty, while not being too dark. Like, that was kind of a little bit of a worry.
Yeah, well, I think that they're almost making a point in that trailer with them saying fuck and them having as much blood as there is, because there was so much speculation about whether the movie was going to be R or PG-13.
Right. It could be. But still,
it's a harder gritty. This ain't your daddy's Wolverine.
I love the reference where they're actually reading X-Men comics.
Yeah.
The little girl's reading X-Men comics.
Apparently Hugh Jackman had Joe Quesada, who is the head of Marvel, specifically draw that for the movie.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. He wanted her to be reading an X-Men comic. Like, Hugh Jackman liked that idea, and Joe Quesada drew it for him.
Well, that's cool.
And then I can't remember. I really wish I had remembered the guy's name, the guy who inked it.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a very famous inker who inked it as well.
Gotcha. Huh. That is cool. But I like that they kind of pulled that into the universe, too. It's like, oh, they're making comics about things that happened in real life.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, though, and this is what...
quote-unquote real life. But
this is what's confusing for me, and I've seen a lot of people talking about it online, but, I don't really follow speculation so much.
Mm-hmm.
Hugh Jackman has said that Logan does not take place in any universe that the other X-Men movies have. So Logan is not connected in any way to the other X-Men movies. Not even the same universe.
Okay.
Which is confusing and weird.
I mean...
well, it's an example of a what-if story.
Sure. And, I mean, that's okay to a certain extent, but at the same time, Hugh Jackman was the one who said this?
Yeah.
Is it corroborated by anybody who actually, worked on the story?
Not that I saw.
Okay. So, I mean...
this doesn't even take place with the other X-Men.
I don't want to shit on, Hugh Jackman loves the character. He obviously...
Hugh Jackman would wrestle you to the ground.
He would.
In 12 seconds.
And I'd let him.
You're like, you're kidding me.
Oh, you've caught me, Hugh. I'm all yours. Tiny little Australian man. But no.
Why is he so greasy?
That's not grease.
I must have spilled some Code Red Mountain Dew on my body.
Code Red and baby oil. I thought this was Greco-Roman wrestling. Anyway, I'm not saying that he doesn't know. Mm-hmm. Because he loves the character, he's very involved with it. He really enjoys it all. But without knowing whether or not that's actually corroborated by the writers. That's more important to me, because sometimes they will tell actors stuff that's not true, and the actor just has to go on the belief that it is true.
Well, one of the things he also said is it doesn't take place in the same universe, but you'll understand why when you watch the movie.
Okay.
Which, to me, could be a bunch of different things.
It could be that he dies. Could be that Professor X dies.
Well, they've already, with the X-Men movies, done so much time travel-y,
changing, retconny bullshit.
Yeah, that, I mean, this could easily be, all it has to be is the Logan movie, into the movie Professor X dies. I mean, I think even in one of the trailers you see what people assume is Professor X's grave. Like Logan's digging a grave for somebody.
Yeah.
It could be that, and then the last couple of minutes is just like cuts to Professor X talking to Kitty Pryde, like, so that's what will happen if you don't do your homework and eat your broccoli, Kitty. God, that would be a great ending. God, that would be so good. And that's why you need chemistry, Kitty.
That's funny.
I need to be working for Sony.
You do.
Let me find the quote here real quick. He said, not only is it different in terms of timeline and tone, it's a slightly different universe. It's actually a different paradigm, and that will become clear when you see the movie.
Okay. So, I mean, with that additional information, that'll become clear when you see the movie. I mean, that tells me that it's just another departure, which is fine. Yeah.
It would be weird if they did a total what if movie, though.
Why?
I don't know. I mean, it would be a kind of a gamble, I feel like. For people to go see that movie, I don't know. See, now I'm totally on the fence.
See, I mean, Wolverine has always been a rather standalone character. You know, no matter how much he's involved with a group, X-Men or Avengers, because he's been in the Avengers a couple times. No matter that, he's always been a bit of a loner.
Yeah.
So I think it's perfectly okay for them to just release a one-off movie. Yeah,
but to have Patrick Stewart as Professor X still, and just say this isn't.
He's still not the main character, though. I mean, he's part of the ensemble, but his role is more, if anything, a catalyst to keep Logan on the straight and narrow.
Oh, no, absolutely. I'm just saying it would be very confusing to a lot of people if this movie is totally standalone from the X-Men, is a different universe, is tied to those X-Men movies in zero ways, but just so happens to have Patrick Stewart playing Professor X at the same age that Professor X would be. Because I think this movie takes place, from what I just saw online, in 2024.
Okay.
So it's a slight future.
Mm-hmm. Fucking 90. She's 11 and I'm fucking 90.
I thought X-23 looks cool, too.
Yeah. 2 blades.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it.
Some of that wire work looks weird.
When they're jumping in the forest?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought so, too. And I was trying to figure in my head whether it looks weird because they're not moving them fast enough. Like, if a body were to leap that far, I imagine it would be like a jungle cat, where the gravity would carry you faster.
Yeah.
Or whether that's what a human would look like if they were to leap extraordinarily long distances.
Yeah.
Because it seems slow.
It did.
Slightly slow.
I'm not speaking from experience, I'm only assuming, but it seems like it would be incredibly difficult to do a very small girl in wire work. You know, you don't have to have a whole lot of weight on the other end to balance her out. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And you also, of course, really can't go too fast with her because there are safety concerns.
Yeah.
You know, she's a little girl.
Just trebuchet her.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Fling her.
Yeah. My other trebuchet is a trebuchet.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just, like I said, maybe it's just safety concerns or something, but I don't know. Or maybe it's just she wasn't very comfortable in it and she looks a little weird coming out of it.
Yeah.
Or it could be that those will be parts that they don't actually put into the movie, you know? Mm-hmm. Or maybe they'll show it from a different angle and it'll look better.
You get 2 in the trailer back to back, because first you get Logan kind of leaping forward with his claws.
Yeah.
that looks a little weird, and then she like jumps over his head and it looks the same way.
Yeah.
And I get, if you're listening and you're rolling your eyes, I get that this is super nitpicky.
Yeah.
And it's nothing that's going to stop me from seeing the movie, and it's nothing that like
will take us out,
this
or
is bullshit.
Yeah.
It's just, it is something that stood out to me too.
Yeah.
But maybe that's just wire work in general.
Maybe. I mean, we've talked about this before, though, that the trailer tends to be the best parts of the movie.
Mm.
So I think it's fair to nitpick certain aspects of the trailer.
But you've watched a fair amount of like kung fu movies and Chinese influenced movies. Though that's about how wire work looks, though, right? Like when they're doing like long, exaggerated flying kicks and stuff.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it looks like, slightly unnatural, right?
Yeah, it looks awkward because there's not enough of a parabola going on.
Yeah.
That's ultimately what it boils down to. Like, if I were to leap up in the air, my parabola, and go a distance as well, my parabola would be long and wide if I were going a distance. But if I were coming up and using gravity to pull me down faster, it would be a very tight parabola.
Yeah.
So, it could just be an issue of angles. Just they're slightly off in their parabola, and it's just enough for the human eye to say, that's wrong.
But here's the thing, though. Let me present some evidence for the defense. Have you seen videos of Shaq doing like those super long jumps to dunk? It looks 100% unnatural.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like with the way... Let me see if I can find a video real quick. No, fuck it. I won't look it up. You can search it online at some point. But yeah, when he jumps, like does his free throw dunk jumps, it looks a lot like that wire work. I mean, it looks unnatural. It looks like he's just almost floating through the air. It's crazy.
Fair enough, I say, Brandon. Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. But overall, the movie looks fucking amazing. It looks gritty. It doesn't look super dark, though. It looks like it's going to have some nods of humor. I don't know. I don't know if the little girl is going to have more lines or anything. I'd like to hear more just her talking to Logan. I don't know if that's even in the character.
I imagine it is. I mean, it looks like, from at least what the trailer has shown, it looks like almost a cross-country buddy movie thing with Logan and Professor X all grumpy and crotchety in the back shaking his fist.
Yeah.
One of the things that stood out to me about that trailer, too, is like, that dude at the convenience store, like already he works at a convenience store. He's probably not super happy. He works at a convenience store in Texas.
Right.
So he works at a convenience store and it's hot as shit in there.
Right.
Regardless of the job, it is just hot as fuck all the time. He catches a little girl stealing and she just like flips him on his back and probably definitely bruises ribs, maybe dislocates his shoulder.
Yeah.
What a shit day for that guy. You know?
Yeah, I agree.
But I think, doesn't he grab her?
Yes.
Okay, so then a lot of that's nullified.
Yeah, I don't think he puts hands on her. I think he just tries to take the stuff that she has.
Okay, see, now
and she immediately just grabs his arm and judo flips him and bada bang bada boom. Like that.
Are you pulling up shoutouts?
Yeah.
Okay. Couple real quick things just so I can delete them out of my notes.
Okay.
Australia had a garlic bread shortage.
What?
Yeah, there was a garlic bread shortage in Australia.
Okay.
I think it has resolved within the last week, though.
Well, good. I'm glad.
One of the largest producers of margarine in Australia found bits of plastic in their margarine. So all garlic bread, I think mainly one of the biggest buyers of this for their garlic bread was Domino's.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of garlic bread was recalled.
So that means that the automated Domino's bot went without garlic bread in the deserts of Australia.
Yes.
My God.
The Archie Comics CW show that we've talked about before.
Right,
and
yeah.
how stupid it looks.
Uh-huh.
Apparently it was a thing online that Jughead likes girls. I guess in the comics, Jughead was asexual and never showed interest in girls or boys.
Okay.
And now he likes girls and people care. For some reason, people fucking care who
Oh
Jughead
my
gets
God.
to.
You know, one of these, we're going to implode with all of this fucking stupid bullshit that we pretend to care about that we shouldn't.
In fairness, I don't think people were pissed in a politically correct way. I think people were pissed that it was going against his character way.
Yeah, but then you will have those people that care about it in the other way. Because now we're not representing the asexual community.
Yeah. I think people who are very outspokenly nitpicking everything.
Yeah.
Especially in this political climate.
Yeah.
I think people have cooled down on that, and everybody, I feel like, on the left is really starting to band together towards common issues that we are having politically. He says, stepping quietly around the Legos laid on the floor.
I don't even care.
All I can say is I always thought Jughead got hard to burgers.
Yeah.
Like, that was his whole thing. He wore a crown and he got turned on by hamburgers.
That's right. All he wanted was to fuck a hamburger.
And he could.
He did.
And everybody knew. Reggie, Archie, Veronica, the other ones.
Yeah.
They all knew he fucked burgers, and it was fine. It wasn't a big deal.
Nobody had a problem with it.
Petition.org. CW, make Jughead fuck a burger.
Yes. Let's do that thing. That's ridiculous, but yes.
These are two stories that I want to discuss maybe next time.
Okay.
So I'll just drop them real quick, and then we'll wrap up here.
Okay.
Ringling Brothers ends after 146 years.
Yes.
I think that's something we could really get into next episode.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stupid shit we could talk about on that.
And also, I want to check. I've checked this from multiple sources, and it says it's real, but it doesn't sound real. Apparently, there's a startup company that for $8,000 will drain you of blood while replacing your blood with young people's blood. It's supposed to keep you young. Multiple legitimate sources seem to confirm that this is a startup company. That actually, they haven't done it yet, but they have the capital for it, and they're starting to take people's money to do it.
Huh.
So I think that's something we could discuss more next week.
That's weird. Okay.
Also, apparently, they feed Skittles to cows.
Gotcha.
I learned that too.
Well,
totally unrelated.
At least they're letting the cows taste the rainbow.
If Skittles are printed without the S on them, they ship them out to farms, and farms mash it up to mix in with food to feed to cows.
So that's why my milk tastes fruity.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm not even going to say it. Never mind. Just cut that out.
So, shout-outs today. I imagine we're done with this episode, right?
Yeah.
Okay, shout-outs today. We have Viscount Terry and Stephen Hines. Viscount said that his nephew works for the railroad and makes a very good living. He welds and repairs tracks. Hard work, but pays well. Has decent benefits and retirement.
Yeah, you were getting real shitty on railroad workers.
You were.
Me?
You were the one who was shitting on railroad workers.
I have always defended railroad workers.
I am going to fucking stab you in the throat. He came up with this comment, Brandon, before the yellow caution, so technically I didn't agree with Rem this time.
Yeah.
Even though I think maybe he misheard that you were the one who was poo-pooing the railroad workers. My grandfather worked for B&O.
I'm pretty sure
I grew up with a train track.
I'm pretty sure you're misremembering. I have always 100%, because I remember episodes 10, 20, 30 episodes ago, I talked about how railroad workers were the most fuckable men.
That is true. I'll give you that.
I would never insult a railroad worker.
So continue on past go and collect your $200, Brandon, is what he said.
Damn right.
Stephen Hines said, sexy, funky outro music? I was thinking about a booming, stomping track to simulate two ogres fighting, but I can switch gears.
See, I'm fine with the booming track.
Yeah, I mean,
I was making a joke about sexy outro.
Yeah.
I don't think that would really fit. We'd have to take the tone down at the end and be like, so until next week, ogres.
Yeah. Keep your clubs blunt and your tusks sharp.
I
want
to make a promise to the listeners right now that I will never again make simulated sex noises into the microphone like I just did there.
Oh, that's unfortunate. And don't make that promise. You cannot keep it. You know you can.
Touche. Cut it out. Cut it all out.
So, yeah, Stephen, whatever you feel like doing, buddy, we would love it. Just do it. Do it now. Do it now. If I ever need to crash in West Virginia, it won't be at Rem's. I don't like the alarm clock he uses for friends. I didn't get that before, but now I remember that me dry humping John.
Yeah.
Yep. And also his.
Well, you don't even want to know what happens when you hit snooze.
Yeah. And also his dad retired
back in 5 minutes.
His dad retired from the railroad 6 years ago. He makes he made excellent money but hated his job. So there's that.
Yeah, Remington.
Yeah, Brandon.
Maybe scoop up some of that shit you dropped on railroad
Oh
workers
my
and
God.
shove it down your throat.
I wasn't shitting on railroad workers. I was shitting on the other people that I was talking about.
I don't even remember.
Kittens.
How?
I was shitting on kittens. I wasn't either. You can go back and listen to the episode.
My uncle worked as a kitten for 60 years and made good money.
So if you have any questions or comments or you'd like to hear yourself on air, we haven't had any call-ins lately. Come on, people. You can get in there, give us a call, have your question played on air, or your statement, whatever. You can say that you guys suck.
If you want to become my arch nemesis, I'm actively looking.
Yeah.
I do have an arch nemesis already, but I've blocked him out of my life enough that he basically doesn't exist.
Right.
So I could use a new rising arch nemesis. Right. So if you want to apply, leave a message. Let me know what your qualifications are, what you hate about me. Also, I'm really self-conscious, so tell me one thing you like about me too.
So you can do that by calling us at 978-DU-OGRES. That's 978-386-4737. You can also reach us on Twitter at Dueling Ogres. Email us at duelingogres@gmail.com or leave a comment on the Facebook page. Did Larry leave anything on the Twitter? On the Twitters? I don't know. Let me check.
Let me check the Twitters here.
Let me check the Twitters here. I gotta check the Twitters, see if Larry had any comments on the Twitters. Oh, yes. Larry said that it was very in-depth Switch coverage. Fella is truly exhaustive. And I asked him if that was code for boring. He said only because I didn't give two shits, but very complete shits. I said at least we stole the shits from you anyway. Actually, by the end of the show, I was wanting a Dreamcast. So there's that. Yep.
Why?
Because Dreamcasts are cool.
Oh.
Duh.
You can borrow my Dreamcast.
Yeah. You can't borrow mine. It's at Mom and Dad's.
Oh, you still have a Dreamcast?
Yeah, I do.
Why isn't it here, hooked up to your fucking projection?
Because it's at Mom and Dad's.
Get it?
No. Don't tell me what to do.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Make sure to check out our website at duelingogres.com for articles pertaining some of your favorite geek news. Actually, there haven't been any articles for a little while, but you can look over the old ones if you want.
Yeah.
If you're bored at home, maybe you've read them before. Maybe you haven't. Just go check them out. Throw a little like on them or something. Comment
click on
them.
Everything on the screen.
Yeah, click on
everything that pops up.
Sure, click on things, buy things, whatever. We got ads on there. You can click those if you want.
Yeah, if you're bored, just click on all the
spam
ads
them.
on our site.
If you spam them enough, we won't get anything out of them, and they'll strip our rights away. But whatever.
And then we won't get checks. Remington we got paid.
We got paid.
We can't. I assume you don't want to talk about it exactly.
I don't have to say where we got paid from, but we got paid a whole $13 this month.
Damn right.
That's right. That's almost enough to pay for 1 month of our podcast hosting.
You treated me to a Speedway soda.
I did.
Out of that $13.
That's right. I bought that Speedway soda just for you. You can do those things. Check it out. Check that out.
It's funny that that's genuinely we got paid.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Finally, be sure to leave us a 5-star review on iTunes or find us on Podbean, iHeartRadio, or Satchel, where you can donate directly to the show instead of doing it through ads. That is an app that you can download for iPhones or Android. In case you were wondering, it is a podcast app.
Yes.
Very fun, very enjoyable. You can locate local podcasts by allowing your location to be viewed.
Okay.
Which is really cool.
Yeah.
And then, maybe if you're interested in doing something, you can find other podcasts that are in your area and pester them until they'll let you on.
Yeah.
Or you can pester us to let you on. We don't care. We'll pull anybody on this show.
It takes very little pestering.
It's true.
Honestly.
We had John on last week, and he only came through like a quarter of the show before he left. So there's that.
He talked so fucking quiet. I started listening to that episode.
Yeah.
And you upped his audio as much as you could.
Yeah.
I think that's a problem with the podcast that I need to try to bring when we have people we know on. Not guests, but people we know.
Yeah.
I really needed to be more like, John, dude, you got to pick it up if you're going to be on.
Yeah, I was right there, man.
Because what he was saying was interesting, but he's just like, yeah, so I made some pizza and, that's what I got to say. And it's like, dude, come on. This is the first thing people are hearing.
Yeah, exactly. So that's it.
We, of course, love Resident Stoner John, but at the same time, he's just awful.
So also go over, if you don't want to download any kind of podcast app, you can go over to YouTube. It launches out on there. You can subscribe and ding the bell on that so you get notifications. and listen to us at your leisure.
Yeah, and keep an eye on the YouTube. We do have plans to do stuff with that channel. Besides putting the episodes out at some point.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have any immediate plans, but we will.
One point randomly throughout the next probably couple hundred episodes. I'll say couple hundred just because that's a long way away. But, sooner or later, whatever. Yeah, they might actually turn into real videos where you can see our ugly mugs and comment on how beautiful Brandon is and how grotesque I am. So until next week, Ogres, keep your clubs blunt.
And your tusks sharp.
Good night. Did you just flick your tongue? Flitter?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Be super quiet. I want to see, when you go through and edit, I want to see if me flicking my tongue comes through, okay?
Okay, move the pop filter.
I'm not going to try to like...
Yeah, mm-hmm.
No, that definitely made noise.
Don't look at the mic while you're doing it. Don't make eye contact with the mic.
Okay.
Okay. I had to look away because you kept laughing because I was looking at you.
Look at this. It's so fucking ridiculous. You get a tongue like a motorboat.
I like a lot of...
You lusting after those microphones.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm going to... It's not going to be long now before I make the next mic purchase. Mm-hmm. So... It's just deciding on what it's going to be. Because, I'd like to have more mobility, though.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
whatever.
but how much stuff are we really doing mobile-wise right now?
That's just it.
Not because we don't. Yeah, I understand that.
Right. How much more could we do?
But because we could doesn't mean we would. Like, what would we do? Go to cons and stuff, obviously.
Well, that's ideally what I want it for, is just doing that stuff. But, say you fucking go down to the local comic shop one day and you're sitting there playing some Magic, or you decide to go to one of the tournaments, sit in and do a Magic tournament again. And while you're there, I happen to have a certain kind of setup that you can just take with you and just record something on the fly, and then we can do it. And we can just work it into the podcast.
Could I be...
Or release it as an extra.
Could I be Ace Reporter?
Yeah, you could be Ace Reporter Brandon Full.
Cub Reporter?
Cub Reporter Brandon
Ace
Full.
Reporter is better than Cub
Ace
Reporter,
is definitely better than a Cub.
Okay.
You should know that, Brandon.
Because I'm a Cub Reporter?
No, because you're an Ace Reporter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ah. I liked it. That was pretty... Yeah.
Lonely trumpet radio station.
Yeah, I thought it was good, though. I surprised myself with how good it was. I didn't think it was
Yeah, you really did have a gleam in your eye after you did that.
Yeah, I was really excited. Shut up. Let me pop over to our YouTube and see if dude commented on it.
Alex Blaze.
Alex Blaze. Badass name.
I don't break hearts or sniff farts. You jerks. Did you leave that in?
Yeah. Well, it doesn't look like there's any comments. Let's see if we lost anybody in their subscriptions. Because I knew he subscribed. Nope, he didn't.
Didn't unsubscribe?
He didn't unsubscribe, but he also didn't leave any more comments. So there's that.
God damn you, Alex Blaze. Quickly becoming my arch nemesis.
Only because he wants you as an arch nemesis because your name is Alex Blaze.
Yeah.
The most badass name that we've ever heard.
My name does not lend well to any sort of like...
Brandon Full. Brandon Full.
But can you deliver it with some...
Brandon Full. Coming this fall.
Brandon Full. Yeah, see, that's... Even then, that's not that great.
Yeah.
Your name's like...
Fucking royalty.
Remington Hitchcock.
Remington Hitchcock. Sir Remington Hitchcock of the Hitchcocks of Castlebury.
I invented a new character for my daughter.
Oh, yeah?
It's an old man who finds things spooky.
Okay.
I don't know how you watch these movies. They're so spooky. I did that. Like, I got into a hole where I did it for probably 20 minutes. I just couldn't stop talking like that.
That's funny.
Everything's just so spooky.
That's funny. I like that.